Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VIII. I'm the Mysterious JG. Just did a quick check to make sure that the boss is not immune to water, because as long as it's not immune to water, I don't really care. And in so doing, I found it doesn't really have any elemental weakness anyway, and water is as good as anything else for this fight. And again, we could have little random monster encounters of... I thought it was done. So yeah, these monster encounters aren't doing anything to help us. They're just kind of eating up time, so... Water's probably good against bomb, now that I think about it. Which is probably the most threatening of these enemies. Oh, I shouldn't have made Kaitis attack. Because now, Squall really has to knock it out on this next round or it gets a suicide attack. But it doesn't matter because you got her done. You So in most fights of any real challenge, summoning Doomtrain on the first turn is actually a really good idea. Because it does damage plus basically bad breath. Bad breath is a pretty damn good skill, but Doomtrain you can just summon if you have GF summon. Whereas with bad breath you would need Kaitis and critical. You have perceived the resonance. Congratulations. But you're apparently not very good at being patient enough to wait for it to actually finish. See, I thought that was like some kind of souped-up giant anaconda creature we hadn't fought before when I was playing this last night, but no, it's just a close-up. Terrifying height of eyes. Yep, she's just fucking with you sometimes. Yeah, look, come on, game. This isn't fun. There's a reason you stop playing this when you turn 7. Perhaps I should have stopped playing video games before I turned to my current age, but... Yeah, red light, green light has a kind of a period where it works, and we're past that now. To mysterious music and the fadeaway jerk attack. Come on, I stopped! Mommy! No, but seriously, I'm pretty sure I stopped moving before that damn animation got going again. Oh good, Odin is here to make this battle take longer because the summons animation is so long. It's still pretty badass. I like this version of Odin. I mean, the graphics aren't as high def and whatnot, but I like this design for Odin better than the one from, like, Final Fantasy XIII series. Is it gonna do the fade for a minute and then come back? No. Again, pretty sure I stopped, but hey, it's okay. It's an anaconda. It'll be quick unless Odin shows up to prolong things. Now, I will warn you, I wasn't trying to speedrun it, but last night I beat Bahamut before he could show off Mega Flare. I'm not too worried about making sure you get to see Mega Flare at least once, because... Oh, and it's Bahamut we're about to be fighting. I'd been, like, surreptitious about that, and I just kind of gave it away, didn't I? Yeah, Bahamut is the boss we'll be fighting here. You'd have to expect. It's pretty normal summons to pop up in your Final Fantasy game. I'm going to run away from these guys because the Blood Souls can be a real irritation. Luckily, they missed and did not turn Squall into a zombie. They are immune to death, which is a status ailment I've got, so it would actually take more turns to kill them than it would most things. So you wish to challenge me? It's not our will to fight. But I don't have any other options, so I have to say that. And apparently he's not pleased with that response because he's going to make us fight generic monsters. Oh, he's going to make us fight a red dragon. Water might be good against him. We don't get to see Flare that often. But Doomtrain will actually be better here. Yeah, it's not doing anything against them, so... We give a high potion, make sure that Doomtrain's nice and healthy. Doomtrain was already at max HP, I guess. No, don't do Meteor now. Doomtrain was about to be a thing. Meteor, I must say, a powerful spell in this game when you don't have, like, really high spirit. But, definitely been demoted from Final Fantasy VII, where it was going to destroy the world. Ah! That can go up to 250. The only one where I've ever consistently gotten it up to 250 is the last summons, which has a ludicrously long... This might be where casting Meteor is good because it won't wake him up. Although I think he might have been hit with... he might have been actually hit with the thing that makes his vitality 0, which means it might be a good time to do physical attacks. That's what you get for having Meteor as a stock spell, buddy. You know we're going to use that. Nothing in the game is immune to Meteor. It's Meteor, I know. It's not Meteor. It's non-elemental, so you can pretty much hit anything with it and expect some damage, which is nice. Not so nice the first time a red Ruby Dragon ever used one on me when I was fully junctioned against wind and fire and expecting to be and blinding them and expecting to be pretty much immune. And suddenly I'm getting whooped up on. A stone that contains morale. Morale with cheese. Our Jumbo Cactuar is more powerful. Begging for mercy? Yeah, there's nothing I could do. Never. Bahamut is this game's guardian force that comes to protect you basically because it likes fighting. Oh, thank you. Now here's a battle where Odin is going to be handy. And Bahamut's like, hey, that's cheating. What would you think if I used Odin against you? And I was like, as long as it works the same way as it did when we fought him and he wasn't a guardian spirit, I'm okay with it. Damned imbeciles, why do you wish to fight? For the sake of protecting something, none of your business. And then the third, this is, I don't know how you're supposed to figure this out, but the third hidden correct option is, it's our nature, which somehow pleases him enough to fight as himself. There is no real reason. Maybe we were born only to fight. I see. Interesting, but stupid. Now we get to fight the big man himself, the H-Mut. I am Bahamut. The great BF Bahamut. GF, using my powers. It is you humans I fear. No, okay. So, nothing you really need to learn from him. But handily enough, he has Curaga and Dispel, which means you should be able to handle this unless you get, like, completely KO'd by his Mega Flare, which, again, didn't even happen to me when I fought him off screen. Killed him before he ever used it. I suppose if I hadn't already stocked up flares and was stocking up flares now, he would get a lot more opportunities to use devastating attacks. Also, Zell was in critical, so I kept getting to use Zell's limit break against him, which made things move pretty fast. And at this point, if you don't have elemental junction setups that you're blocking the basics like that, you're just not doing it right. Runaway train never coming back. Runaway on runaway train. I'm gonna get a better score than the last couple times. Or maybe I got about the same scores I did last time. It's not about damage. You see, it did 500 something. It made him blind, which is nice, and it's given him 0 vitality, which is really nice. If I'm going to go with a physical attack approach. I can't see you guys as you're kicking my ass. Maybe I gotta let him stick around for a while just so we can use Mega Flare, because otherwise this is just sad. Apologize. See if there's any cool spells that I want to show off that we don't use that much. She's really got nothing all that interesting. Ultima, sure, we've seen it. Let's see it some more. Anything you got in your stock that... Holy? We haven't seen Holy yet. It's kind of cool looking. Let's throw them around now because don't have to worry about wasting them because I'm going to be loading in a moment to a different... oh, we have seen Ultimate before. We saw it with... Selfie did it as part of her limit break. Yeah, he really doesn't give a crap about those spells. He wants to be beaten up physically. Let's indulge his fantasies here. Oh, I never scanned him. Shame on me. Let's do that. Hopefully he doesn't die in this turn. Also see how close he is to death so that we can decide if I want to let him use Mega Flare. He's mostly dead. 2,600 left. Called the King of Goof. Its Mega Flare ignores all defense. Gives assistance freely to those who show their power. So he's immune to lightning and wind, which is why it's a good thing I didn't bring them. But otherwise, it doesn't matter. Alright, 26,000. So I really don't want to hit him more than maybe 3 more times max if I want to see him use Mega Flare. And it might be that he has to be at critical before he will use Mega Flare. That would actually make sense. That would leave him with about 23. That'll leave him with about 16. That'll leave him with about 11. 7. We're getting pretty close. I wouldn't want probably Zell or Squall attacking him right now. But it might be the only bust out Mega Flare when he's in trouble. 8,000, yeah. Might let Selfie or Kitus hit him one more time. You need to hurry up and use Mega Flare if you're going to do it, buddy. If he gets a critical, I won this faster than I meant to. So now he's down to where one hit from anyone will kill him, and he's going to bust out Mega Flare. So I didn't get to see this when I was free recording, so we get to see it now. That's not bad damage at all, but I'm afraid it's not enough. Have you seen the light? Can I tell you about the good news about Jesus, the Savior? He appeared to white people in North America, you know. Secret white people who snuck to North America. Never mind. I was about to go into, like, I heard the most basic thing about the Book of Mormon was about Jesus visiting the Americas in, like, you know, whatever time period. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So, like, the Mormons are, like, all into the fact that the Native Americans were... And I found out many years later, nope, there was, like, a secret group of white white Americans who'd gotten over there somehow. And now all trace of them is gone. I was ready to be really excited about how progressive Mormonism was about Native Americans. Another path to your destiny awaits. I've never read the Book of Mormon. I don't know what it really says, so... You're indeed an interesting one, brimming with passion. So you can do more here, but you have to... I don't know if we could do it now without advancing the plot or not, actually. We might be able to do it right now. You started to be more spontaneous. Okay, something about talking to people on the bridge would advance your ability to do that. Whatever happened to that ring? The one with the monster head? I don't know. You know where we're going? No. You know where we're going? Yes. Selfie, let's go. But I wanted to talk to Selfie. I guess we don't get to. Selfie can only communicate with the ship and Irvine. Well, actually, now that I look at it, there's no particular reason for us to be here. So that was what I wanted to showcase. Now we can actually load where I've made some progress. I'm at Hasbury Plains because I'd switched up some stuff to get a few more adamantites, whatever the item that you get from Adamantoids is called. Excuse me, because eventually I might have more than I need now, but eventually we will be able to use them. Irvine is the one who needs them. He needs a couple more so that he has enough base hit points that 100 Junction Full Life will get him to 9999. We can't really start doing the whole stat maxing with items thing until we get the last Guardian Force, and I'm not thinking that we're going to be stat maxing everyone all the way, so don't worry about that. But yeah, I did off-screening. There's specific items I was looking for to refine into magic, and in fact, why? I thought I drew Holy from Bahamut last time. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I got it some other way. But at this point, I went into the FAQ. I found out what items you need to get. Because, oh, yeah. Guardian Force Bahamut gives us access to Forbidden Magic Refinement. So we've been waiting for this for a while. So there's quite a few things I'd lined up where we could max out our spells. Primarily at the end of Disc 3, fighting all those Tri-Face enemies to get Pain Spikes, refining those into Dark Matter. The point of getting the Dark Matter, there's more than one thing you can use it for, but I got several so that we could get lots of Ultima. I also found an enemy that drops an item at a pretty slow rate, the Fury Fragments, which we can get from red dragons, but we can also get them from blue dragons. I was up in Trabia in the forests. Not a particularly high encounter rate, but more or less guaranteed to get a Fury Fragment each time. Those you can refine into Aura. And I thought we got Holy by draining it at a Bahamut, but I didn't see it in the spell list when we fought against them that time. But definitely, now I'm not sure. But I definitely got it set up so that we've got 100 quantity of all the spells that we... This is like our end game spell list that I would take into the final area, and we're maxed out. We got 100. Got 100 of Aura, which is the spell that allows you to do limit breaks, even when you're not in critical. And when you are in critical, you have a higher chance of getting the best limit breaks. We got 100 Ultima. Somewhere back here, we got 100 Holy, I believe. Yep. And I got that for 3 playable characters, with a little bit of reserve on some of those. Like, we got a few triples in reserve. I went through the steps of doing that. I got a whole bunch of Meltdown in reserve because an enemy we kept encountering instead of the one I wanted to encounter was dropping the thing that gives you Meltdown. So I went ahead and have a whole reserve of Meltdown, small reserve of Holy, reserve of Ultima, basically so we can actually use some of those spells. And then after the battle where we used it, we can like top back up to 100 for our junctioning purposes. So you're in pretty much as good a shape as you're going to get in Magic. The only enemy in the game that, and I found this out while trying to figure out how I was going to get Aura through the Final Fantasy wikis and whatnot. Only enemy in the game that you can actually draw Aura from as a spell regularly is part of the like chain of bosses we'll get as we move to the point of no return in Disc 3. So what I will probably do if I remember is when we get there, I'll move Aura Magic out of everyone's stock so that they can all stock up and I'll have a bunch of Aura in reserve for use in Act 4. But as far as having the magic spells that we need and like me having to reorganize magics, we're done. Everybody's all set and ready to go for the final battles of the game, magic-wise. So that's pretty good. We also... I got everybody's ultimate weapons. I said I was going to do that on screen, and then I realized there really isn't any graphically exciting thing that happens when you get ultimate weapons. You're just in a menu, and you suddenly have ultimate weapons. So we have Lionheart. Guys, we already had Lionheart. We got Save the Queen for Kaitis, Exeter for Irvine, Shooting Star for Renoa, and Strange Vision for Selphie. The only two ultimate weapons that make a really big difference, because mostly they just boost your strength and accuracy stat. But Strange Vision gives Selphie an automatic 255 accuracy, which Squall also has just inherently. Which means really the big difference is Lionheart will now give Squall access to his last and best limit break, Lionheart. Lionheart, yeah, people make the argument. You have Irvine's ultimate ammo and really fast button smashing abilities. You might be able to do more damage with Irvine's limit break pulse ammo than with Lionheart. Renoa's ultimate limit break, which I don't think is dependent on her weapons at all, but her ultimate limit break does a lot of damage. And Selphie has The End, which will defeat any enemy, although apparently not Jumbo Cactuar. But yeah, Lionheart it's cool looking if you're into that kind of fantasy nonsense, and he just deals a fuckload of damage, so it is pretty impressive. Junction-wise, I am set up for fighting these guys, these Adamantoises. So let me get back to my normal, just in case we run into a Tonberry Junctions. I don't think he uses Stomp. It must be Sleep. We might find out to the contrary. I might regret this. But I think we can take off Stop and do Sleep instead. What do I have for Holy? There's not that many things that are immune to Holy. Yep, so we're in good shape. And just grinding for those items, I've already learned all the abilities for Doomtrain, who has... Basically, he just gives you lots of status and elemental defenses and junctions, and he's a really good thing to actually... he gives you Forbidden Medicine, which is useful for a few things, and Junk Shop, which is why I was able to refine weapons in the middle of the field, although it's not that difficult to go find someplace to refine your weapons if you don't have the Junk Shop ability. But he's just really a good GF to actually summon. He's one of the few GFs I'll bother to summon. Bahamut gives you Forbidden Magic. Otherwise, ability times 4 matches up really nicely with Jumbo Cactuar, and he gives you mugs. You can have 2 characters mugging instead of 1 if you want to. Rare item, which seems kind of useless. Like, I've looked at what it does. Seems like sometimes the item combos you want, you're not getting when rare item is equipped. And we're almost done Well, no, we've got Defendant Kamikaze left. I don't know what Kamikaze does. I imagine it kills you. So, probably not going to be using that. Alright. Only got a few minutes left. I guess the thing to do is just to call it a video a little early. And when we come back next time... Well, I mean, I know I could fly on screen to where we need to be to wrap up the story. Or rather, continue the story. Once we get Renoa back, depending on whether I feel like recording any more today or not, I got something else I need to record, actually. So can I land up here? Yeah, I'll land up here. Is there a reason to be up here? Probably. Oh wait, actually I think there is. Well, no, not for this. The Chicken Mountains. You can receive Dynamo Stones. No, I forgot to mention in my off screening, and I had made too much progress to want to undo it. Encountered that UFO again, this time like if it was flying around with a Moai head. Oh, maybe that's a thing I could do. I believe I know the next place to go to encounter that UFO. If I can find the Chocobo Holy Lands and then land up here above them. They say if you're running around here, you can encounter the UFO again. And that'll be the last UFO encounter we need to get to unlock a UFO battle. Cool, huh? But this is an actual battle. Ever scan one of these? They're kind of scary looking, but they're not really that devastating that I remember. Hexadragon. So much for ending this video early. Now that I've decided I want to try to encounter this UFO. A type of mutated dragon, one with 6 eyes, uses fire magic and special breath attacks, weak against water. Oh, that's handy. We actually have that equipped. Oh no, I switched it to Holy. Should have left that alone. To be left alone, the dream of every great superhero. I watched the Pooh Mayman last night while leveling up. Yeah, we got pretty good speed, so we attack pretty frequently. It's time to do. Except that it's not, because he died. Dual Blade was resonating. Got red fangs, which I don't believe I have any use for. Come on, show up, encounter, and now I can move on. I think this is the right place. Well, this one shouldn't take too long anyway. Okay, maybe I need to just double check this is the right place to be before we spend a lot more time here. But I'm pretty sure if we just fight around here, we will eventually encounter a UFO. Maybe I'm supposed to be in the forest. I thought I was supposed to be out of the forest. Oh, you just slow things down against these enemies, Odin. Oh, well, I guess I want to leave triple speed on it. It doesn't really last that long. Okay, I tell you what. A lot of these points are going to waste. That could be feeding into our last and most powerful, in theory, GF. So we'll come back and we'll do the UFO. And all the wasted battles waiting for it to populate. Once we've got our last GF and know we're getting the most out of all this power leveling. Because, we got a bunch of abilities to learn with it. We may never get that one up to level 100. But maybe I will. Maybe I'll just go crazy with it and decide all of my GFs need to be at level 100. I'm just not satisfied. Meantime, Sorcerer's Memorial is around here somewhere. That is not it. That is Tyr's Point. I know what the space launch zone looks like. So the Sorcerer's Memorial is here. So this, folks, is where the next chapter of plot is going to take us. Or rather, has already taken us. So we're going to have a critically wounded Zell, Kaitis, and... yeah, these are kind of like... oh, actually... to the extent that it matters, and I don't think it matters one bit, Renoa's oldest friends in the party are really Selphie, Zell, and Squall, right? She didn't meet Kaitis until a little bit later. So if she's going to have, like, her true friends come and convince her not to spend the rest of her life in some kind of weird techno prison, it should be these three. And these three will do their best to find a way to save Renoa, starting with the next video. I'm the Mysterious JG. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time.